Hi guys, this is Donna and welcome to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about 3 government scholarships that I applied to, and I hope this video will help you. So let's get started. The 3 government scholarships that I'm going to be talking about is the China government scholarship, the Hungary government scholarship, and also the India government scholarship. So the Hungary government scholarship is also known by Stipendium Hungarikum, and the Indian government scholarship also is known by ICCR Scholarship. So I am currently an ICCR scholar, but I have applied and I have got all the scholarship that I'm talking about today. So I hope this video will help you. So the scholarships that I'm going to be talking about, all of them are giving you full free tuition. They are going to give you a monthly stipend, although the amount of monthly stipend varies, and it's not necessary that the monthly stipend allowance is same in all of the schemes, but you have to do your research. I'm going to add all of the website in the description box, so you're going to have all of the details in those websites. Today I'm going to be talking about the process that you have to go through for the government scholarships, and the requirement really varies for each of the government scholarships, and I'm going to be talking about the government scholarship process in my country, and which is Bangladesh. But I believe that there are some slight difference in other countries, but the process is basically the same. So let's get started. First, I'm going to be talking about the China government scholarship, which is also very popular by CSC Scholarship. So the process goes by in few steps. First is you have to do the online application, and then application to ministry, and then you get the nomination results and viva by the embassy, and then you get the selection and you get selected by the uni again. Then you have uni exams or viva or both, and then you have the uni results coming by, then you get granted the scholarship. So first you have to make an online application, obviously on the website. You have to fill up the form, you have to apply for which major you want to study and all of that stuff. It's very detailed, they are going to ask you about everything. And you also have to have your 10th and 12th board exams certificates or mark sheet in your hand to apply. It's very important. And in some cases you don't need a passport, but in most of the cases you need a passport. So also keep your passport and national ID ready and by your side. Try to scan all of your certificates and all of your documents and have it in your PC, so that while uploading you don't really miss out anything. So first you make the online application. In my country you have to fulfill a form issued by the Education Ministry. You get all of the details of the scholarship on the Education Ministry website, so you will also get the form there. And after fulfilling that form, you generally have 2 forms ready and you have to print out both of the form. So for the online application you don't have to submit any kind of hard copy for the China government scholarship, but you have to submit the hard copies to the Education Ministry. So in this case, when you're applying online, your application is not going to be sent to the embassy first. Once you're selected by our Education Ministry and you're nominated by them, only then your application will be forwarded to the embassy, and they are going to check whether you're eligible or not. So you have to submit the hard copy of both applications, the copies of your mark sheet and the certificates, IELTS certificates if you have an IELTS certificate. It's not necessary to have your IELTS certificate. It's good if you have one. So you have to also keep in mind that you are ready with all of the certificates or all of the things that you already have, so that it's not a problem for you while applying. So after you have submitted everything to the Education Ministry, if you're eligible, if the Education Ministry selects you, you get nominated. So the nominated list is basically published on the Education Ministry website. You don't really get a mail or anything like that. So you have to always check your Education Ministry website so that you are known if there is any kind of updates or whether you're nominated or not. After being nominated, in case of China government scholarship, you get a mail from the embassy, and the embassy contacts you for a viva, for an interview basically, and they take an interview of you. There are like 5 people when my interview happened, there were some people from China and a single person from Bangladesh, I believe. After going through that process, the Chinese embassy think that okay, you're eligible and you are good to go. Then they will forward your application to the uni that you applied for at the beginning. So after your uni get your application and all of that, they contact with you, and it really depends on the uni whether they want to take an interview or a viva or like a admission test. And sometimes if your application is very strong and it fulfills all of the requirements, they don't take any viva, they don't take any exams. The whole process from here is based on your uni. Whatever your uni thinks, they are going to do that. You're going to get a mail a few days before all of these happen. You will have some time to be prepared. If the uni thinks that okay, you are selected or you're good enough for their uni, if you get selected, then they forward this confirmation mail to the embassy and the embassy grant you the scholarship. So the next scholarship that I'm going to be talking about is the Stipendium Hungarium Scholarship. This is the scholarship that I was kind of nervous about. I applied for Budapest Business School for Finance and Accounting and to Debrecen University for business informatics major, I believe. I didn't get any kind of architecture program there, so that's why I didn't apply for it. And after architecture, I was really interested in business. Budapest Business School was my like first choice. So for this, you generally have to make an online application. It's just like the Chinese government scholarship. You make an online application, you print it out, you fulfill a form given by the education ministry, and you get all of the documents ready, and then you have to submit it to the ministry. If you get nominated, if you're selected, the uni will contact with you. They're going to take a viva and an exam. If you pass out the exam, which is not really the easiest exam sometimes, if you pass out the exam, then the uni will send a confirmation mail. Stipendium Hungarium Scholarship Scheme is not really a government thing, although it's managed by our government from a foundation, the Tempus Foundation. After the uni confirms your acceptance, the Tempus Foundation is going to evaluate whether you can be granted the scholarship. Sometimes, because of the number of applicants, even if you are accepted by the uni, you don't really get the scholarship. Although you can study in the uni self-funded, and sometimes you get a little bit of scholarship like partial, but you don't get the entire scholarship by the Tempus Foundation. So if the Tempus Foundation is not really approving the scholarship, you don't get the scholarship no matter you're accepted by the uni or not. So there are like some risk even at the ending. You have to have these risks throughout the process, and only if the Tempus Foundation is granting you the scholarship you can study in Budapest. But although if the Tempus Foundation don't grant you with the scholarship, you can still study in the university because the university finds you eligible. The third scholarship that I'm going to be talking about is the ICCR Scholarship. This scholarship is basically controlled by the High Commission of India in Bangladesh. So it's not really something that you get update on the Education Ministry website. You have to go through the ICCR website and you can find all of the info there. So for this scholarship, I applied for architecture and I got the scholarship in National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. Trichy, it's called Trichy. So I got there. It's a 5-year course. This is a scholarship for which you don't need any kind of language course. You just straight up go and start your major. For the ICCR scholarship, you don't have to connect with the education ministry. You fulfill your application online, you apply online, and if you're selected, the High Commission contacts with you for an exam. The exam that you're going to be attending, it really depends on the High Commission on what kind of subjects they're going to be taking their exams on. But basically, in most of the years, it's based on English. So it really depends on them what are the contents of that exam. After you get selected for the exam, which very little people get, to be honest, you get called for an viva, an interview. So the interview is based on why you applied for the major and what do you want to do, what's your plan and all of that. And even while applying, you have to write an essay, the statement of purpose. I forgot to mention this, but for all of the scholarship, you have to write SOP, statement of purpose, and all of that. Like, what's your goals, what's your planning, why did you choose those countries, and all of it. And to be honest, a lot depends on those paragraph or those essays that you're writing, because they sometimes really read it before granting the scholarship. So you have to make sure that you're putting your mind into that essays and they actually understand how much determined you are. So then they call you for the interview, and if you're selected by the High Commission, still you have to be selected by the uni that you have applied for. And if you're selected by the uni, you again have to get an approval by the High Commission, and only then you're granted the scholarship. So that was it for the ICCR. I have applied for Russian scholarship and Turkish scholarship too, but I don't really have a good experience with them because I didn't go much forward with both of the scholarship schemes because it required 1 year of language training after you get the scholarship, and I didn't really want to spend so much time. As I said, I wanted to study architecture. It's already a 5 year course, so it's like long enough. So I didn't want to invest any time for the language purpose. But if you want, you can study the language beforehand. Suppose you want to study in China, but you don't want to do that 1 year language course there. So you can study the China previously, like during your college, and you have to write a language test on China language. And if you get good scores, if you have the certificate of your language test with a good scores, then you don't really have to do that language training. You directly go to the studying part, the classes part. So it really depends on you. Sometimes we really miss on a lot of things that comes in front of us gradually when we get the scholarship. So try to make sure you're talking with some scholars before applying or while applying, so that you have a good idea on how this whole thing is going to operate. And I hope this video helped you. If you have any kind of question, you know the drill. You can DM me anytime on my Instagram or my YouTube comment section, and I will always be there trying my best to help you. But I hope you enjoyed the video and the video was helpful for you, and I'll see you very soon. Stay well and stay healthy.